All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Most Searched. This is a show where Warren and I talk about the most searched things throughout the course of the week.
Elon Musk, since we're going on SpaceX, it was a good segue, I guess. He has stated that the Neuralink he's trying to develop. Hey, Christy, the Neuralink is trying to develop.
You said hi. You want to say hi? Come say hi quickly. She's hiding. Anyway, yeah.
The Neuralink
locked up in the room.
With the Neuralink, she would have been able to download this. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, yes, okay. It's an exciting topic, guys. This is exciting. Okay.
So Elon Musk has stated that, or at least alluded to the fact that the Neuralink is trying to put into the brain of people, which his original task is to be able to help with disabilities such as blindness, deafness, physical disabilities, to connect the dots in your brain and get it to work. It will also, or should be able to stream music into your brain.
For blind people.
For deaf people, I guess.
That would be incredible, though. Eh? Could you imagine that?
Wouldn't that be kind of redundant if you fix their hearing and then you're like, yeah, and stream the music into your brain? Kind of redundant.
You're like, yeah, wait, you guys can't hear, but we can get you to hear music,
in your brain.
I
mean, if you fix their hearing, that wouldn't be necessary. But I guess but I'm just trying to think, wouldn't it be kind of insane if something wigs out and you're walking down like the street and you just connect to like 5 radio stations? I would lose my mind.
But what if your frequencies, like I know you're talking about radio stations, but I'm thinking of the movie What Women Want, Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Where he gets electrocuted.
Where you can hear women's thoughts.
So what happens if you having a thought and somehow there's a malfunction and your frequency catches someone else's?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Next thing you're sitting there and you start picking up what they're thinking. That could be, I mean, it's also one way to pick up serial killers possibly. I mean, I've been watching Mindhunters now, so that's kind of...
That's a good show. Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Very good. But yeah, I suppose, like, imagine sitting on the bus and next time, like, there's this guy in front of you just going, yes, I'd want to butcher that thing. Like,
it's like, it's just something like, I'm going to kill him tonight. I'm going to do it tonight.
It's kind of also Minority Report vibes. Yeah. Minority Report.
Yeah.
They kind of like predict the murder before it comes. So if you can then start, I mean, think about it, that's also the scary part. If they are then able to allow you to stream music in your head, surely then they're able to pick up your thoughts somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's basically Alexa. Right? It's basically Alexa in your head.
Jeez, could you imagine what the Chinese government could do with this?
It's basically Alexa in your head, where they collect, or what's it? Amazon was called out for Alexa recording people's conversations. Now it's recording your thoughts. So what if your dreams are like, you have a wet dream? They've now got a damn recording of your wet dream.
Like I feel like the wet dream's the least of your worries.
I'm just saying, like, most random cuck. Like, what if someone's like, it records anything, right? At this point, we're speculating hugely now. But what if?
Shit! Could you imagine Sigmund Freud being alive? Yeah, if that were true. Yes, he's already got that issue.
And that's my point. Is like, for people that are insecure in a sense, to a large degree, whatever, and then they strip down, they shower, and they look in the mirror, they're like, I'm a fat piece of shit. Or it's like, man, I thought it was bigger than that. Like, all these things you could possibly have in your head. Like, oh yeah, I knocked her out the park. She was walking funny today. All those kind of thoughts recorded by someone.
I mean, all the algorithms and things they've picked up from just the normal stuff we use on the web, Twitter, Spotify.
And all the people illegally download shit. It's in your head. Like, I illegally download this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Ooh, I'm going to hack that.
Dude, they'd have access to all. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have access to all your passwords already.
But now it's a case of, but then, I'm saying with that kind of stuff, you could at least say, I wasn't on my computer. It wasn't me. Now it's like, well, it's literally your thought. We literally have you saying it in your head.
Dude, you're so accountable. Like, this is what I'm saying, Minority Report sort of vibes. They can hold you accountable for something before you've done it, just based on your thoughts.
Yeah.
That becomes a huge, apart from, I know it's a huge ethical thing, the fact that they've got access to your thoughts. But if this were like, if it were illegal, then could you imagine trying someone based on whatever were to happen? Like, no, we're going to arrest this person because of, you thought about robbing the bank.
Yeah, it's basically getting cancelled for an opinion, in essence. It's getting in trouble for an opinion, basically, like we've had now. You have an opinion, you get in trouble for it.
No,
They,
no, no, no. But this is where it becomes really crucial, and like research and everything else, because the patterns of thought that they would then be able to put together, they would have to define certain things as to which are then
it's a
which
whole
thoughts
new
lead
legal
to
system.
action as opposed to which are just fantasy. Technically, everything in our minds, if we had to say, like, there's certain things, for example, Michael Jordan being a basketball player. Oh, I'm the
Mm.
best. I'm going to win this match. I go out there and I win it, right? I'm the best. I'm telling myself the best. But then there's that moment where you go, okay, well, what's fictional? Be like, oh, I always wanted to be an astronaut, wanted to know what it was like, but I don't really want to be an astronaut, but I've thought about it. So like, how do you then define the different types of thought?
Well, that's what I'm
And then
saying.
say,
A whole new legislation type thing would have to come into play, where you would have to pick specific words in what comes out of thought. So if someone says "I will," then it's no more a fantasy. It's a predetermined situation, like premeditated. I will do this. I will
mhm.
do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. You would have to now think about what you're going to say. Like, I wonder what it would be like to. Or imagine I drove a
Jeez.
bus into this building. Imagine, you'd have to be so specific with thoughts. Though I feel
Oof.
we've strayed from the concept of what this is supposed to be, which is supposed to help people for physical disabilities, mental and whatnot. The original idea of Neuralink, and the
Yeah.
added concept of uh, uh, social media abilities and streaming of music. So the original concept is to fix people's wrong, but help people that might have vision problems, hearing problems, physical disabilities, cancer issues, whatever the case is, speech impediments. That's the original idea of Neuralink. Added to it, the idea of being able to connect to social media through your mind and see the person in front of you stuff in your head. And as an added bonus, why not while you're gymming? Why have a headset or have an iPhone when you can just stream it into your head? So yeah,
Yeah. I think the best use case is the fact that, you can help people with disabilities. Case
yeah,
in point, this is how these guys will get away with actually producing something like that. But like this,
my neck.
this is
Sorry.
kind of why we're making it, right?
Yeah.
All the other stuff that you mentioned is completely unnecessary. It is, and it puts the rest of society at danger
Mm.
with something like that. Just the case in point of Facebook, Twitter, and all these other things, where your personal data is already being scrutinized and
And sold.
warped and used against you and sold. Could you imagine? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's dangerous. Like, and someone with a disability, for example, um, someone who's unable to put rational thoughts together or has like a certain level of IQ.
Yeah.
I suppose when you're able to help those sort of people in terms of you helping them function at somewhat at a state that people are deemed as normal, then it becomes a bit more
You mean
beneficial because then you're not
rather
really taking advantage of
rather a
that person.
state people can relate to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're not taking advantage of the person. You really are aiding them. Whereas in a scenario where you just like, hey, I just want I want the latest headphones. I just want to hear the latest music while I blink twice, and then maybe if I blink 3 times, I can send you a please call me, or I can say, hey, babe.
I need to pause. Okay, yeah, you saying?
Could you imagine? Could you
I
imagine
can't hear
that
you.
though?
Just wait. Yeah, what?
But, but could you imagine for introverts though? That would be like, could you imagine being able to? So you go out in public space, you're really intimidated to meet new people. You don't know how to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Warren, my name's Claudio. What you up?" Like, or you're trying to pick up a girl, for example, or vice versa.
Mm.
Could you imagine being like, and she gets the message, "Hey, chick, you want a drink? Look at me."
It's like
You know?
playing a track, playing a thing, like a pickup line, and then just doing this. Just like megaphones out.
Definitely not that Vasey Paul. Not
But
that.
what
You
I
know,
will say, I'm just saying, like like comes out. But I suppose there's the added benefit of the possible Neuralink, whether they've thought about it or not. And if they haven't thought about it, then I digitally patented this concept on the 20th of July,
I've
2020,
got a patent lawyer you can call,
one
by the
minute
way.
past 10 p.m. on a Monday in South Africa. That for people that have massive self-esteem, suicidal issues, use this to not pump, that's the wrong word, like flood their brains, but use it to stream inspirational messages, uplifting, encouraging things to keep them going, in a sense.
I mean,
Whenever you
that's
have
a great concept.
yeah. So
That is a great concept, but it's at the same time, you giving someone access.
well, I don't mean someone accessing their brains. I'm saying their ability to find that stuff. Like it's almost like a Google search in your head. Like I'm feeling down type thing. I feel like shit, or I didn't get the job or whatever, and you just need something. And you can find, if you can stream music, why not be able to find a bit of an audio book of some sort, or just a quote or a dialogue of some sort that you can download just to make yourself feel better, to pick you up a bit, with like picking a song that makes you feel happy in a sense. But if you're at therapy, as an example, then that's a way for a therapist to at least say, yeah, I'm going to send this to you now, and then they boop, 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 whatever, send it, and they say, listen to this before you go to bed, that kind of thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, no. I think I like your concept, but seeing as you patenting a concept, I'm also going to do the same for one. Mine is as a student,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Study.
What if studying and you're writing a test, you just write a song, upload it on Spotify, but it's got all the answers to the song.
Then they would have to have jamming systems inside the school. It's like military grade jamming systems, like outside every exam. So all you hear in your head is static, unless you turn it off.
Jeez, dude, could you imagine being the artist? You'd be popular. You just take the whole syllabus, whatever it is, whatever course it is, and you just break down that syllabus into songs.
Well, then wouldn't it be easier just for them to do, in a sense, oral exams, but through the mind? So a question gets pumped out to individuals. They each have obviously I guess a code, private code in a sense, and it gets pumped out like the square root of whatever 77 as an example, whatever the hell it is, and then use that to give back your answer. And because you have to think about it, you technically work it out in your head, so they see your answers, they see you working out.
Yeah, I mean that's okay.
Hey, I win.
But I want to. So how do they actually get it? Is it a chip that they install into your head, or how does it work?
From the interview I saw on Joe Rogan, I guess we can kind of close this up. Christy is being rude.
Did you hear? They said you're being rude. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Bitch.
Whoa, you take that back.
So, what I was saying is on Joe Rogan. What?
Because he's not happy with you. Anyway, okay, continue. Yeah.
Did she hear me?
Yeah, continue. You're saying the chip, they put in your head, in your nose.
No, they don't. Not in your nose. So what you were saying
Back of
is
your neck.
there's like I think you said it's 2 inches, either an inch or 2 inches, something like that, whatever it is. Okay, so something like that, where they cut a square or circle, in your scalp.
Mm-hmm.
They drill a hole through, and they take the little thingy, obviously with machines, not by hand, and they place it on a specific point in your brain, depending on what they're trying to target. So if it's like a disability of not being able to use your feet, as an example, they place it in that specific part of the brain to connect to those neurons that aren't firing anymore. Yeah. That's the idea behind it. Yeah.
Have you seen the series The 100?
I have not.
So one of the things that they do, it's a good series. It's a good series. Shot in Canada. I'm surprised you don't know about it, seeing as you work in Canada.
The series was made like how many years ago?
What? The 100?
It was 100, yeah.
No, it's now, dude. It's
exactly.
airing now.
When was I last working in Canada? Jesus, how would I know it's there?
Do you not have friends in Canada?
Yeah, but they work on other shows, and I was there when Walking Dead was first being shot.
So you don't talk about all the little things. Now we're just talking about your friend group that you clearly don't have anymore. The point is, in the show, though, they take a chip and they actually put it in the back of their neck.
Yeah.
But what it does is it's an AI that they connect into the back of your neck.
Yeah.
And it helps you obviously achieve your higher self, because obviously you got this AI that assists you with everything. So it's similar to what you're talking about now. But one of the other interesting parts about it, and again, this is completely fictional, but you know that most science is inspired by fiction
Mhm.
and largely movies. But what they do is they store, if this chip has been in you, the AI extracts the consciousness of the person once the person has passed away. So then once that chip gets passed on to the next person,
Yeah.
you then have the accumulation of all the different consciousness that you can tap into, including the AI. So for example, if I were to pass away and you had the chip, you could still interact with me,
Mhm.
which is super interesting.
It sounds like they kind of took a few concepts. They took Avatar, the Last Airbender, where he can talk to all the airbenders before him to learn through meditation. And then, even though this came out afterwards, just saying, carbon fiber? Carbon fiber. I think it was the show Carbon Fiber on Netflix, where they have the thing in their brain. It's got your memory. It's got your entire memory and soul. And when you die, they take it out and they put you in what they call a new sleeve. It's another body, and then you're back,
Yeah,
but just in a different body. So it sounds like a mixture of those kind of concepts. Even though I know
possibly.
100, I think, came out before carbon. It's altered carbon. Sorry, not carbon fiber. Altered
Okay.
carbon.
All
But
right.
I'm
So
just
there's
saying
similar
that's
concepts.
yeah. I'm saying
Yeah.
that's how I'm understanding the show, at least from Last Airbender and a cartoon.
Well, there's a lot of things that happen in the show,
Yeah,
but
I'm
that's
just
just
saying
the
that
concept where
concept. Yeah.
you telling me that this chip already does those sort of things to a point where it's connecting neurons and everything else.
Yeah, it should help with memory loss as well. So if you have Alzheimer's, the idea is to reconnect those things so you can have your memories back.
You
That's
see?
the goal of this in general.
So that's step one. So I mean, if they're able to get away with that, eventually storing those sort of memories
Mm.
and then say extracting that chip and storing it on the drive or the storage of that drive and then passing
Yeah.
it on and actually then connecting those memories to someone else isn't so far fetched when we're talking
Eh,
about just playing music within your mind.
yeah, I suppose like also to make it a little bit more creepy, and maybe close it off is if the AI is I don't know how much AI they're going to put into it. You know, I assume there's going to be a lot of it for to do these kind of things, but
Yeah.
it's possible that they could make the AI track, understand, and follow your personality and how you respond to things, so that when you do
Yeah.
pass
Like
away,
Spotify.
yeah, like so when you pass away, you could technically plug it into Alexa, quote unquote. Alexa, please play my grandfather, and then you can almost interact with him because it understands his memories
Yeah.
of when you were
That's,
a kid, and you could say,
yeah.
"Grandpa, do you think it'd be cool if I built I don't know, a surfboard for whatever?" And it
And in
actually
our
might
case, it's not grandpa, it's a Vol.
yeah, I'm just saying it may respond with an adequate response, understanding that going through all memories and whatnot and discussions and how you responded emotionally and everything to actually
Mm.
respond to you with a valid response that he might give. So it would be basically
Yeah.
clairvoyancy in a sense through technology talking to the past dead.
That's another idea we need to
Patent.
patent. Yeah.
Everything about this topic is patented.